You already fucked up.
Welcome back, Chicago and Canada. What is going on, everybody?
And West Virginia.
Oh yeah, West Virginia in the house. Shout out to West Virginia downloading a bunch of fucking episodes. I guess I just went through the catalog because it shows like a mass amount of downloads, and not just of one episode. It's like, all right, cool, West Virginia, cool. You guys already heard the voice. Joining me today, the Canadian Destroyer, Ryan Dempsey.
What up?
What's going on, Ryan?
Living the quarantine dream. Forget the Velveteen dream.
Yeah, you're the quarantine dream.
The quarantine dream.
So thanks a lot for joining us today on this episode. We are going to talk about part 2 of WrestleMania. WrestleMania 36. I don't know if you guys saw it, but me and Ryan will tell you guys all about it, or go ahead and watch it as well. But thanks a lot for joining us. Go ahead and check out the rewrites. That was a song that was playing right before this. The rewrites are a local band in Chicago. They're my buddies. Right now, no one's playing shows, no one's doing anything, but go ahead and check out their YouTube. They let me use all their music, so they're awesome. Go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and check out Football on Full Heel, the bass player of that band, my buddy Frankie, my fraternity brother Frankie. Shout out to Omega Delta Phi. He is the host of Football on Full Heel, where they talk everything and anything having to do with soccer. Spanish leagues, Italian leagues, German leagues, American leagues, European
English
leagues.
league.
Yeah, all of them. We talk about all of them, so go ahead and check that out. Football on Full Heel on the network. So you can find all their videos here on the network, and you can find them as well. Well, not the videos, but you could find the audio on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher. Yeah, all those good places. We're going to try to keep it less coronavirus talk this time. We were talking for like half an hour about coronavirus last time. But it's in everyone's lives. Everyone's got to deal with it. So, like I said, we'll try to keep it to a minimum. I'm back to normal. I'm back to work. What is today? Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday.
Taco Wednesday.
Yeah, Taco Wednesday for you. Yeah, I'm getting back to normal life after being quarantined for 4 days. So, it's back to normal. Back to work. And, yeah.
Does your work on shorter hours or anything now, or are you guys still going full time?
Still full time. They just
Okay.
We haven't done our this. Depending, I usually go work overtime in other areas. I had to take 4 days of vacation because of quarantine. So
Right.
well, not vacation. I had to take sick days, paid sick days. So when you take sick days, you're not allowed to take overtime, because then it would just count as regular time because you didn't work your 40. Even though, because you got paid those hours that you would have been sick or out. Now, if it's vacation, then it's allowed. Like if I had vacation and I use vacation, then I'd be able to get my 40 hours and I'd still be able to technically work overtime.
Okay.
But sick days, they don't want you to be like, I'm not coming in Monday, and then still pick up overtime.
Right.
On
makes sense.
On Saturday or something like that. So I didn't go in Saturday. It seems like they didn't go in Saturday either. We might have slowed down for a week, but who knows? I usually work warehouse anyway for overtime. I've been busy in my area. I could stretch it out to go work like 5 hours overtime if I wanted to. I have the key and shit. But I'm not. I shouldn't go in if other people don't go in either. So.
Right. Yeah.
That's a big no. Don't go in unless other people are in here as well, because they don't want me to get hurt and then be like, help!
Yeah.
Help! I'm dying.
They show up on Monday morning and you're just laying there.
Something smells dead.
That's the one thing that always got me about my job, was that the early morning shift and the afternoon shift, you're by yourself. So if anything goes down, you cut yourself pretty badly. You got to try and like figure out a way to call someone. Like
You ass better call
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. Got to call the boss. You can't just leave
Hmm.
because you have to like lock up everything. It was always kind of weird to me that there was only ever one person on certain shifts. But hey, whatever. They what they did. Do what they do.
Yeah, I did go on a weekend by myself, and they didn't complain or anything because I just went into grease up parts. There's we deal with a lot of bearings, springs, and stuff that go in hollow cores to make the roller spin.
Right.
So, like, we had to do a giant job, and we wanted to get ahead of it, but the other warehouse guy couldn't go in because he had to take his dog somewhere or something to the vet. His dog got into the garbage and had like pancreatitis or something like that.
Uh,
So he had to take him to the vet, so he couldn't go in. So I
he
just,
had gas.
yeah, I went in by myself, but I'm smart, I'm not dumb. I knew what we were gonna do, what we needed to do, so I just lined up all of the parts, which were a lot, and I just greased up parts for like 5 hours and like picked up my overtime. But this weekend, like I said, sick leave, so I couldn't pick up overtime even if I wanted to. So,
Right.
but we'll see this week. The warehouse might have work for me. They always do. They always here. He said he was getting swamped today. He came over and he's like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "You got a lot of work?" I'm like, dude, I got work. I'm like, it's not a lot of work. Like, not for me, not in my area. And then he's like, cause I need your help. I'm like, well, just go tell my supervisor. I'm like, if you tell the supervisor, I'm like, I'll just go over there and fucking help you. And then he's like, hey, can Rafa come tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go work warehouse tomorrow. So it looks like there's a lot, and it looks like there might be 5 hours of work Saturday. So it looks like it's all normal. But like I said, we've been working our 40. If anything, we might cut overtime. But we're essential, so that means unless our boss is lying to us and we don't have work, then we're not essential because essentially no one's fucking no one's
Right.
on our shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we deal with like I've said before, we deal with packaging and shit like that. So
It's funny what they call essential work too, though. Like they say that restaurants is essential. I'm like restaurants aren't essential. You can go to the grocery store and get your own food.
100%.
Like they're really being lenient with certain things. I find where it's like, are you really that like like? Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see anyone out of work. I don't want to see businesses shut down. But let's not pretend that everything that you're saying is essential isn't really essential. Like I'll 100% give you like cops, paramedics, fire. I'll give you all hospitals for sure. But like there's some things where it's like probably shut that down for now. But whatever, do what you got to do, cut what you got to cut, and
like our neighboring company, which is in the same building, they just don't deal with the rubber aspect that we do, and they give us a lot of our stuff, or they repair a lot of our stuff that we already have in our inventory. And it's pretty much a sister or brother company, whatever you would call it, to us. It's in the same building, like I said, same dock, everything. There's nothing that divides us. Same factory.
right.
I know they work on the tortilla masher, the one that mashes all the corn and shit.
Okay.
They repair that a lot and stuff like that. So if they were to close down, if that were to break on the tortilla place, they wouldn't be able to fix it. And they regularly come in like every other month, maybe. So they might not have it right now, but if we're closed down for a month, and these guys come in, they're shut down. Then who the hell's gonna repair that tortilla thing? And then
there'll be the riots because, like you were saying, there's a lot of Mexican in
no
Chicago,
tortillas,
man.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
You saw what happened. I don't know if you saw the pictures. It was
Someone I don't know if it was you. Someone I remember seeing the article or the story of the tortilla shortage or something.
No. Once everyone got the toilet paper, you saw the lines at El Milagro. That's the place that makes the best tortillas, the corn tortillas.
Okay.
The ones that don't crisp up all fucking crazy. They're nice and crunchy. Like you can get them to get a nice crunch. They got a nice firmness to them. They're not flour or anything like. They're good as fuck. They're probably the most popular too.
Okay.
El Milagro. I'll go out and say it. El Milagro's the best. Suck my dick. Everyone else that fucking disagrees.
I'm a big fan of the old El Paso. I find those to be delicious.
But I don't know. Do they come?
They're just like that's like that stupid taco kit there you can get at the grocery store. They're
See, these come 12 per pack, and they're in that white paper, and it has the lady.
oh
It has the lady on the
yeah.
front like that.
You're getting like the real deal. You're not getting like some like where it's like you look at the ingredient list and it's like food. It's not chemical.
Yeah, we don't eat the other. Yeah, it says non-GMO on there. We don't eat the other ones. Like if we have the other ones, they don't get eaten. They go bad, unless we run out of the El Milagro ones.
Right.
They're the best. I'll fight, dude. I will fight someone if they try to argue with me that they're not the best. The best.
I gotta make my way down to Chicago and eat.
Jeff did. Jeff wants to come back to get. What did you want to come back and get? I think you wanted to get carnitas, which is pork fried. They fry a pork and they you put salsa on it, some cilantro, some onions. It's nice and simple, but it's
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like I love when you see like a real Mexican taco or any Mexican food when you actually see like how they do it, and it's just like 4 ingredients, and then you see like. Anywhere else in North America, there's like 17 ingredients in a taco. I'm like, that's way too much, man. Like
carnitas, dude, you get the fried ear in there sometimes. Like, hey, that's what came. That's what came.
Like, yeah.
Eat it. Fuck it. It's
edible. That's what I like. That's what I love about like when you see like old school countries, like when you think of like Mexico, Portugal, Spain, a lot of European nations, and then when you get into Central and South America and you see like you're getting every little bit like. In America, they do it. It's called a hot dog, I guess. But I mean, but when you see like you have to go out of your way in the States or even in Canada to find like good, awful, or like you said, ears, feet, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I told you, right? I did keto taco. Oh, I did keto tacos on Friday. Keto all day. Told you I'm fucking jacked, dude.
I know that pizza box is missing.
Yo, the pizza, it's gone.
It's gone. What pizza?
Yeah, what pizza? There's keto pizza. There's
there is for sure.
There's a gluten-free pizza. I have a couple in the freezer. That's all. When I went to go get some gluten-free pizzas, and that's all that was left during when this first went down, like the first day of lockdown. I'm like, I might as well go get some pizza just in case. All the pizzas were gone except the gluten-free. And the cauliflower, crust.
You can really tell what people, when you go to the grocery store and all that,
And I'm like, suckers, this tastes a little bit different. You guys are just scared because of the gluten-free. And they only had cheese left, too, so I picked up some pepperoni because people are dumb. And then I just threw pepperoni in there. Boom. Simple as that. But, no, I'm doing great on the keto. Yesterday, chicken and broccoli. Today, I'm going to make chorizo con huevos. So for those people that don't know, that's eggs and Mexican sausage.
Good Mexican sausage.
Yeah, spicy Mexican sausage.
I love a nice treat. So
yeah. Sometimes you don't even need to season the eggs or anything. You just throw the chorizo in.
But like the oils that come out of the meat.
Yep.
That's it. That's where it's at.
Yep. That's where it's at. That's what I'm gonna do today. All right, Ryan.
You should deliver internationally, man. I'm hungry now.
Anything else before we get into this card? Part 2 of WrestleMania.
No, I think we're ready to roll.
All right. So part 1 ended with the Boneyard match. I've gone back and watched it. I still think some of the camera angles are corny, but I think I enjoyed it. No, I did enjoy it more than the first time around. I heard the second time around.
I heard Bischoff was saying how, and Connor Thompson are on 83 Weeks. They were talking about that match, and they were saying how they intended it to be filmed like a, I guess, B horror movie, if you would, an 80s style. And if that was their intention, then I say they did a fantastic job doing it. For me, I wasn't expecting it to look that way. I was, like I said on the last show, I was expecting it to look more like traditional matches where they leave the ring and they go backstage or they exit the arena for some reason. Then they got the cameraman chasing them. That's what I was expecting. It still was like I going back and seeing it. It was a good match. It was just too Hollywood, if that makes sense. It was just it seemed like it should have been a TV show more than a wrestling event.
And I think we're just looking at it through in the eyes of a wrestling match, and it's
That's it.
not a wrestling match.
That's it. Yeah. For me, it's hard to separate the two because I am watching wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and I think actually Connor Thompson nailed it too when he said it was very Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the perfect way to say it because that was Biker Taker in that setting, and I could definitely see a Sons of Anarchy from that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I could see that too. Sorry, just fixing stuff. Cool. Cool. Let's see. So day one. What was the pre-show? The pre-show was Liv Morgan versus Natalia, right?
Yes.
What'd you think of that match, Ryan?
It was.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
was there.
It's hard. I want to get behind Liv Morgan more. I like her character, but there's something that I'm in all of her matches. There's just something missing, and I don't know what it exactly is. Natalia has been like a top performer, I find, since she debuted, and she has honed in a lot. She knows what works and what doesn't. I wouldn't stop what I was doing. Like there are some matches on this event, night one and night two, that I will go back, I'm sure, over the years and watch. This is one of those ones. And I hate to say it because it is the girls wrestling. It does kind of sound sexist, I'm sure. But like the tag team title match for the women, I probably won't go back and watch. This one I won't go back and watch. Especially when you consider the match that follows this one. It makes this one very forgettable.
Yeah, it kind of was just like a regular match, and I don't think you're wrong on saying that they're missing something with Liv. This is the third character I've seen her in. Her first character from NXT kind of very, very closely resembled Carmella, and it seems like they just stuck with Carmella with that gimmick instead. And then when they brought her up and they put in the Riot Squad and painted her tongue, and I don't think she fit in that though.
I kind of liked her in that because she had Riot and Logan helping her out a little bit more, and I think that kind of elevated her, especially when they were doing. If it was like a 3-on-3 match, she could kind of get away because there were two, I think, better performers kind of carrying her in a match. Even in that Elimination Chamber, like it looked like it was going to be like they were really hyping her up, and I think her best spots were when she was getting ragdolled by Shayna Baszler. Like she can sell well. I will give 100% credit on that, but there's something with the offense when she gets going. There's, I don't know what it is. Like I feel maybe she is someone that needs to be in a tag or have a friend, if you would, that's with her to kind of help her get going. I don't know what it is, but
I think she would benefit from something like that, something till she can develop her character. I think she's very young. I think if she works with someone, finds a character that she's comfortable with, maybe she can strike gold.
I almost hate to say it, but I feel like she would have been an amazing competitor back in like the Trish and Lita days, when it was, and like I said, I hate saying it, when you could kind of get away more with your looks than your ability. Like she could, like I think she would have been a better fit there than now. Now the girls are so badass that when you can't carry a match, it's very noticeable.
Yeah, it's about in-ring performance now more than about looks
than
it was back in the day. And you can see that with Charlotte and Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is like a better-looking Charlotte, but Charlotte definitely has a name. And she can wrestle. Charlotte can definitely wrestle. If Charlotte couldn't wrestle, she wouldn't be where she was at.
Exactly, yeah. There's definitely there's a lot, and I say this with all due respect, there's a lot more badass bitches in today's WWE than there was even 10 years ago, I would say.
And I guess that's just that's just a matter of them influencing girls, and I guess girls getting more eyes on wrestling,
Yep.
getting more people to want to do it, getting I guess the female audience and more comfortable them in the public talking about wrestling. And
Yeah,
I kind
that's
of
very
seen that
true.
with
Yeah.
weed, back like what 11 years ago when I first started smoking. It was kind of like, get the hell away from me, you're smoking weed. And now it's like everyone smokes weed. I'm smoking out in the street and a hot girl walks by and she's like, smells good, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that
You
wasn't
will.
wrestling before. Wrestling, like, I would talk about wrestling with Jesus back in high school, and people like fucking nerds and like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly it with me. Like I find like with me, like the same thing in high school. Me and my buddies would always be talking about, oh, did you see Raw last night? Did you see SmackDown? Whatever it was, and people are always like, oh, here they go again, always with the wrestling, blah 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 blah. And now it's just like people go out there and they talk about it, and they're like, oh yeah, I did hear about that. Like it was this or that. It was like there's some, I don't know what changed with it, because I would have thought the Attitude Era and how like huge it was and awesome. I thought that would have been like the biggest part. But now looking back, people are more excited about things today. It seems. Yeah, I would say like the non wrestling fans are more interested in what's going on today than when it was the Attitude Era. Which to me, I don't understand that. And so like Ruthless Aggression and Attitude, I thought were a lot more exciting than things that are going on today, but people don't see it that same way. And it is an in-ring talent thing, like you said.
Little side note: shout outs to Jesus for hooking it up with the new computer. It's handling two displays, two cameras, and my mic. And the mics are no problem. It's the displays, and the other one would have crashed. Like it would have been like too much to handle, too hot to handle.
You're too much, Rafa.
Yeah, but it seems to be going good now. I just need to try it out with the video game system. See if Elgato capture card works on this biatch without a hitch. And
That'd
then,
be fun.
yeah, and then we're
Full
on.
Hero
Then we're
Gaming
gonna,
went full steam ahead.
yeah, full steam ahead. All motors go or whatever.
Get your motor running.
Yeah, get out on the highway. Let's see. Match number 2, and I guess would be the real opening match and not the dark match. Actually, real quick, Ryan, I need to check this out before. Well, I'm gonna say it. I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure I read AEW is going to USA. Their dark matches are
Yeah,
going.
I was looking it up. I didn't see anything. Um, it's all I saw was that it's still just a YouTube
Yeah.
one. I didn't see anything connecting it to USA, but it could be preliminary talks, maybe that they're trying to go for it. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw it too early. I should have retweeted it or shared it. God
Something so you'd have a source to get back to it.
Yeah, I need to start doing that more. And it could be because maybe they, I don't see it anywhere, so that could be made up. Maybe Twitter. Is Twitter more reliable than Google nowadays? But WWE's on fucking on ESPN. They're on fucking on Fox.
And Fox and yeah.
I'm pretty sure USA would be pissed about that. They're like, hey, what the hell? You guys are giving away Wrestlemanias on there?
Well, that's what happened the first time, that when they went from USA. USA never thought they were going to leave, and they went to Spike, they went to TNN, which rebranded itself from TNN to TNN, and then turned to Spike. And Spike's like, you're never going to leave us. And then USA was like, hey, you guys want to come home? We'll give you triple the money. And then Spike was like, well, fuck, I guess we're going to have to go with TNA. So, I mean, it is possible. Like, networks, when they know that they got something big, they will go with competition, just because eventually something has to catch.
Mm-hmm. All right, I could have been making that up. I don't see it anywhere else. What? All right, we're gonna go as that is fake news by me. Sorry, Ryan. I don't see
fake news.
I'm fake news. I'm excited for AEW today. They've been putting on good shows despite the no crowd situation.
I was actually reading an article when I was searching the AEW on USA, and it was from a couple days ago, and it was like Triple H comes out says we're NXT and it's a slow battle. We're not worried about right now. I'm like, it's been 6 to 8 months. You like it's you got to start somewhere here.
It's like he's already dead. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
how
It's
many
like
hits are you gonna take, dude?
you don't have to beat them. It's all good. Like, you know what? You have your Raw and SmackDown. You have your audience that watches NXT, and it's not 2000 anymore, or not even 2000. It's not like 97 anymore, 98 anymore.
Yeah.
You can just watch it all and enjoy it all. Who cares?
Well, kind of a good segue. Do you think that's why they went with the finish of this match? To get more notoriety, to get a name. And we're talking about I guess the opener, second match of the night. If you guys didn't watch the opener, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. We didn't know really what this meant. I thought, and right off the bat, I'm gonna just say what happened. I thought Charlotte was gonna lose. I thought she was gonna put Rhea Ripley over. They put on a pretty good match. You know, I think with the crowd involvement, it would have taken it that much. It would have given it a full star more than what it. You know.
Yeah. And this is what I mean when I was talking about the last match. When you have two girls that can just go, the difference in the match, like these two put on a fantastic match. It like there were some spots where like okay, but for the most part, like I would say maybe if you take away 5 minutes off this match, it probably would have been a little bit better. Giving them the 20 minutes to go, I think that could have been a little too long, especially with the empty arena, because with no fans to really keep the energy going, I think that kind of hurt the match a bit. But the action itself was fantastic. And there were, and I was constantly going back and forth, thinking like we talked about it before, like when everything was setting up for this match, what we thought would happen, and now during this match I kept on going like, oh, maybe they are going to go to Flair. Oh no, maybe they're going to go. It looked like it could have went either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I the whole time I thought they were going to put it on Rhea, even though they were putting on a badass match. But that's just because the whole Charlotte's from the main roster and this girl's from NXT.
Yeah.
And like we were mentioning, does this mean Charlotte's on NXT now? Is she on the main roster with the NXT belt? Are we going to, I don't know, start featuring NXT on main roster as much as possible now because it is a main roster spot? But like, I mean, as like, are we gonna have them on SmackDown? Are we gonna have them a little bit more on Raw? Kind of.
Right.
And it's smart. Why not? You can
maybe you know what, with empty arenas they could easily do cross brands just to try and like keep things interesting because there's no fans there, so it's just the people at home that you're entertaining. So you could like Bianca Belair just jumping onto Raw, not to get too far ahead. It does kind of open up a spot, I guess, on NXT for Charlotte there, storyline wise, at least for a few months. Maybe they're going to do not I don't want to say 2 or 3 matches, but maybe they're going to do something over the next couple of weeks where there's going to be the rematch, and then maybe at SummerSlam it comes to a head, and they'll have a better idea of where they're going to go with empty arenas, with fans are going to be back. Who knows where we're going to be come August? Maybe it's something that they're going to work on over the summer. I know that Triple H was really high on Rhea and wanting her to win, and Vince is over the moon with Charlotte, and he wants Charlotte to get 17 title reigns. So he's trying to get belts on her and belts on her and belts on her as best he can.
We need to keep this rivalry going, though. They can't just squash Rhea like this. I need her to retain her belt. I need her to gain, and maybe that's where it's gonna go, because if people are gonna complain about the whole situation, about the no crowd, and how I want to look at the glass full, or whatever the expression is.
The glass half full.
Yeah, I want to look at it as it was good. It was a distraction away from what we wanted. And if you look at the big
Exactly.
scheme, it was a good story altogether and a great match. If you go back and you look at the story from the beginning, uh, Charlotte, she's beaten everybody. She's held both titles. She's great and all. She's not really involved in a story. So what do? They bring up the NXT Women's Champion, who's just as big, just as strong, just as physically imposing as her,
And they
hotter.
did that. They flipped the switch because normally the Royal Rumble winner comes out, and it's always been, are you going to fight him? You're going to fight him? You're going to fight her? You're going to
Didn't
fight,
even think
like,
about
who
that.
do you want to pick? And they didn't give that option.
Didn't even think
Rhea
about
came
that.
out and said, you come here, like, let's go. So they kind of did switch it where Rhea wanted that challenge. Maybe putting her over Flair hurts NXT because maybe they would say, like, well, if she's beating Flair, then you got, like, the next logical thing would be have her challenge.
18 title runs on Rhea.
Yeah, but well, there's like maybe they're gonna have her take on SmackDown or Raw because she's beaten Flair. She's proven she can beat main roster. You could have the argument that now you can't have her on NXT anymore because now she has a legitimate reason for wanting to challenge. There maybe like there's multiple things that you could be thinking, like what their plans and ideas were. I'm kind of interested in seeing what they do tonight. Because I can't see Flair not being involved in one way, shape, or form tonight. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the next chapter. I'm hoping anyway. The next chapter gets started tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a rivalry continue with these two, especially since Charlotte takes the belt from her at WrestleMania, and then we could see Rhea getting some kind of redemption, and then
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a win at WrestleMania.
Well, and that's it. Yeah, and that's why I'm wondering if they're going to try and do something that extends, and they have like a like you said, it can't just be Charlotte beats Rhea and then goes up there and just drops the title in the ring and says, whatever, just pieces out,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's no champion and there's no rematch. If they can't do something, they got it. They have to keep this thing going in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some amazing girls in NXT now that also have the possibility of getting the chance to work with Charlotte, which who knows? Who knows what we'll do?
There's a lot of great talent on the female roster at NXT.
Tremendous talent down there,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Well, if the main
especially with
roster
Tegan
knew
Knox
what
back
to
in
do,
that.
if the main roster knew what to do with it, I wouldn't mind seeing it there.
Yeah, the it seems to be just a big cluster with the women on, especially on SmackDown. I find Raw doesn't seem to be even like utilizing Becky until it's like, oh shit, we've got a pay-per-view, we got to throw something together.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of story with Becky, and then on SmackDown it's just like 6 girls at every single time are going for the belt. It's like, what's happening? It's just like NXT seems to be just doing the women's division right now.
100%. They got many stories going on,
And they benefit with that Mae Young, the Mae Young Classic.
Mm-hmm.
They're really those. They've done 2 of them now, or just the one. I forget. I want to say there's 2, but I could be wrong on
I know
that.
Kairi Sane won the first one. I think you're right on the 2 though.
Yeah, like the more of these Mae Young Classics that they put out, there's more exposure. There's new girls that are coming into the company, and they're getting a shot. And yeah, like it can't go anywhere but up with NXT. And it's almost like I was saying with Finn. They're not being utilized right on the main roster. Put them back in the other in NXT. You can see it as a demotion, but these guys they're getting better matches, they're getting better chances. It's almost it's
more opportunities to find themselves.
Yeah, and they thrive. Like I've seen better with Finn since September, October when he went back down to NXT. I've seen more from him there than in his 3-4 years on Raw.
100%.
And there's nothing wrong with saying like having Finn and Johnny Gargano over. I would take that over another Finn and Seth Rollins. So hopefully they do something with like they're doing with Finn. Hopefully they do the same thing with Charlotte, and they give her some. If they're going to have her on NXT, just do it right. And I mean, and Hunter is running NXT, and seems to have a much better vision down there than what's going on with the big boys.
So we have, like we were mentioning, a pretty good match between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Charlotte is focusing on the knee, and she's going to use that to later on lock in her figure 8 and get the submission. But Rhea's trying to work Charlotte as well, her legs as well, because she has I don't know what she calls it. It's a standing submission on the legs.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's the only one I can only think of Riptide, and that's not it. It's,
I forget what it is. It's a pretty good submission, though. I like it. I could find it. I'm gonna post it. How do you spell Ripley?
With an R. Finisher. Oh, submissions right there.
Rhea Ripley's top 15 moves.
Standing cloverleaf.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what
something.
Yeah, that's what they just have it as standing.
Okay, I wanted to say cloverleaf, but I would say like turned around almost because it's not a standing cloverleaf because you could stand in a cloverleaf, can't you?
Yeah, because that's almost like it's like the Boston Crab to the walls of Jericho. It's the exact same idea.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like hers is like a reverse one, right? Because she gets it from like almost like an ankle lock, but she locks up the legs in a cloverleaf style and picks them up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like yeah. Yeah, I can't.
The Riptide. That is also one. They kind of all now have a submission slash, and then a slam of sorts or whatever.
Now I will say that thank you to MMA growing so big that's what they're doing now too, because now they realize that you can knock someone out or make them tap in UFC. So why not do the exact same thing?
Yeah. So you guys on the YouTube, you guys can check out what I'm talking about. It's the Riptide. Or no, it's not the Riptide. It's the... I don't know. It doesn't say it either.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is... yeah.
Well, I put it...
Yeah, all I see is this inverted standing cloverleaf. It does. Like, I can't get a name for some reason. So...
I don't know, but that's her finisher.
Very entertaining right now.
Well, I'm showing them pictures of Rhea Ripley on YouTube for those people. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube if you guys haven't already. And subscribe to the podcast if you're not subscribed. What the hell's wrong with you? Subscribe to the podcast, share with your friends, tell your friends about it. Football on Full Heel, talking about football and soccer. Well, soccer and football, same thing. And then me and Ryan covering WWE. And then these guys come and help me with Fight Companions. Go ahead and listen to our old Fight Companions. We haven't had Fight Companions recently because there's no fights. But that's all going to change April 18th. I might have these guys over. We might break... Shh. Okay. We might break the rules. But I'll probably only have 2 guys over and we'll social distance. We'll sit 6 feet apart. One guy at each corner of the room.
One guy.
We'll just podcast like that. I don't know.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna tell these guys to buy like cheap mics, like $10 mics, and they could Skype me in, and I could just record them, and they could do their own. They could actually have an episode over.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like how we do it in a sense.
Yeah. Exactly. We just have one more call in, and then I just butt out pretty much.
Right.
So that's how it would go. But yeah, Charlotte Flair picks up the win, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh well. I can't. Yeah, for some reason I cannot find any name at all for what her submission would be called. If you know, I guess tell us, please, because we're getting nowhere quick.
Yeah, I gave up a lot faster than you. I couldn't find it.
I'm stubborn. I will search and search.
It's a standing reverse cloverleaf, right, guys?
That's it. Yeah, I'm out. I'm done.
You tapped.
And I tapped to the inverted reverse cloverleaf.
You think I should look for it?
now that I've finished, you can go for it.
Nah, I'm good. But Tony Storm versus Charlotte Flair, we could see that happen sometime soon. But
yeah, that'd be badass.
Tony Storm might go back to the UK title, that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that they might kind of just forget about this and shoot her over to the UK title, or maybe build her back up, kind of be like, hey, I gotta go work my way back up, but I'm still coming for you, Charlotte, in the future.
I wonder why they don't do more. Like, I know that they do the Worlds Collide shows and that. I wish they would do kind of like do more of that kind of stuff. Have more NXT and NXT UK matches, and get the UK title on TV more even. Mm-hmm. But that is what it is.
Yeah, they need to feature that UK shit a lot more. Those people need to shut the fuck up yelling outside. I don't know who it is.
If there's multiple people, ask them if they're 6 feet apart.
Yeah, right? Hey, social distancing. Fuck faces. The next match after that was Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley with Lana. This match was 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And it was kind of just a squash match for Aleister Black. It was a match, but kind of a finish. And
the finish really lacked a lot, I found. Yeah.
They're setting up a breakup of sorts now. I think they're giving up on Lana and Lashley's relationship angle.
Maybe they should have Rusev get back involved with them.
He's gonna start fucking dating Lana again?
Yeah.
Gonna forgive her? Really cuck him out then? She's been dicked down by fucking Black Dick for months. He's like, yep, come back. Let me get in that cavernous vag.
Yeah. Oh, come on. He's got so many steroids going through his system. He's probably got nothing down there now. Everything's just shriveled up.
It's only in the nuts.
That's fair. Yeah.
From what I hear. It's keto, dude. All right, this is why I'm jacked. It's not fucking roids, all right, bitch. And if you guys fucking tell anybody, I'll come after you guys. All right. Yeah. So it was just a match to set up a loss for Bobby Lashley. It seems really out of place here at Mania.
I will say that I'm liking Aleister Black more and more that I see him. Like I was telling you the other night, Sanity was fun, but I like seeing Nikki Cross kind of. Like, I wish that she got a little bit more of a singles kind of thing, especially with the deranged character. I feel like they could have a lot of fun with her as on a singles run. Aleister Black, I see more and more from him. The more time and the higher echelon opponents that they're giving him, he's taking advantage of it, I find. I hope that spells something big in the future for him, because I don't know, he's like that he could be like that beast that could take a title and really give an underdog a good story, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see where they go with Black. He's super. I'm talking about Aleister Black, not Bobby.
Yeah.
Because he's a really big fan favorite, so I'm interested to see where they go with him.
Yeah, and they can definitely use him in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know he's fucking athletic.
Yeah.
For a big guy like that, he's really athletic, which you don't usually see normally. Normally, when Vince gets a guy like that, it's just like a Lashley or a Lesnar, just beat the fuck out of the guy, pin him, and that's it. This guy here, he can move.
Yeah. Match after this, we had Otis taking on Dolph Ziggler. They had this story has been building, I guess, for a while. I don't know if they had it in mind for a while. They had to have because they had the footage, and it looks like they've been building it.
Yeah, it goes back. Yeah, it's at least. Well, at this point, it's about 2 months now.
Mm-hmm. So Otis is attracted to Mandy. Mandy kind of gives him the eye. She invites him out to dinner, and then kind of cancels on him or something.
No, he shows up to the restaurant for Valentine's Day, and she was already sitting down with Dolph at the table, and then that just kind of caused him to have like a downward spiral of depression.
And then it turned out that it was Mandy that was like all behind, or not Mandy,
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Mandy's best friend that was like sabotaging Otis's relationship with Mandy. And so she comes out with Dolph for this match, and Mandy comes out to help Otis. It was an all right match.
It was good. I think Otis. I think he needs the tag team. Mm-hmm. There's something like he has good energy. He has good charisma. The fans are behind him, but I think he needs heavy machinery. I think that's if they were use Mandy as like their valet, but she could also be an angry competitor.
Yeah,
I'm like lead on the Hardy Boys. Do something like that. I'm cool with that. But Otis on his own, I'm struggling to get behind it right now.
You know what sucks? He missed his WrestleMania. He had a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen because there was no crowd. And by what I mean by that is when he picked up Mandy Rose after. So Sonya Deville gets involved. Mandy Rose gets involved as well to stop Deville from because she's interfering. So she low blows Dolph, and I mean hits him in the nuts. I don't mean she blows him. Which allows Otis to capitalize and get the victory. He scoops up Mandy, and they kiss. They share a kiss there. And it's something that everyone's been waiting for. It's something that everyone's been wanting Otis to do. And it finally happened,
guys.
But it didn't. There's no crowd.
It's going good. Hey, how's it going?
The kiddos, hi.
He can't see you, Connor. Come here.
Conor McGregor.
There he is.
Hi, Connor.
Do you see yourself out there? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's go wash the COVID off your hands. Don't lock her in here.
No.
Oh, I'm supposed to be in here. I know you're not supposed to be in here. Bye, Daddy. Bye, Connor. We didn't do long. You had a really long trip. Wow. Okay. And with that,
you probably have COVID now.
Oh, 100%. Connor lit the doorknob earlier today.
When I get to work, I have to bleach everything down, and then when I leave, I have to bleach everything down.
Yeah.
Kill all the germs.
Gotcha. It really does suck for him to lose out on that moment, because this was like that one, like the moment, like at 20 when Trish turned on Jericho and kissed Christian. It was like, oh, what the fuck? Like that was this, except the home audience saw it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was about it. After this, we had Edge taking on Randy Orton in the No Holds Barred, or the Last Standing match. Sorry.
Love you too, boo boo.
Last Standing match. You have to be down for the count of 10.
Oh, let me get me coffee.
Well, if you're
Sorry.
down for the count of 10, your opponent wins. So.
And this is. Yes, please. Thank you. This is usually the match that really needs the audience to get behind it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of nervous to see how this was going to play out without the audience there, because also being in the performance center, you don't have access to certain things backstage. Mm-hmm. You have different environments to take the match to, and like there's only so much you can do when you're at a training facility as opposed to an actual arena. Thank you, honey. Okay. Yeah. So unfortunately, which we'll get into, they had a workout and weight center for them to play around with. Mm-hmm. But we'll get to there in a few seconds.
It was an all right match, but there was no crowd. It was a nice tour of the Performance Center, I guess. They fought all throughout the Performance Center.
That's actually a fair assessment of the match. You get to see the whole performance center. Yeah.
Yeah, they went through everything. They went into offices. They were fighting everywhere. They were fighting on fucking tables, like regular just tables, like in random spots.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? They were fighting in hallways. They were fighting in the gym area with the equipment. They were fighting on top of, what was it, the truck at the end?
Yeah, the truck at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So they pretty much gave you a tour of the Performance Center. If you guys need a tour, go ahead and check out Randy Orton versus Edge at WrestleMania 36. Get a nice
And it
little
started
tour.
off really cool. I was so nervous because of what we've seen up to this point with matches that you thought were going to be great that just were lackluster or just they were a complete letdown. When that match started with Edge is in the ring waiting for Orton to make his entrance, and you're waiting, and you know he's going to come from behind. And for him to hit the RKO right off the bat, I was expecting that's it. Like, it's going to be over in 3-4 minutes. It was not going to be a long match. And then, of course, Edge makes it to his feet, and then they go for a second RKO right away. And you start to think, like, how are they going to fuck this one up? Like, what are they going to do to really make this a shit show disaster? But luckily, that was just like just another scene in the match, and it did go well over half an hour, almost 40 minutes.
Yeah, you mentioned that this was the second longest match ever in WrestleMania, besides the Iron Man match between.
Yeah, I heard it.
Michaels.
Yeah, I heard that this is the second longest. I didn't bother to go back and look. I'm taking it at that because I didn't want to go through 36 36 WrestleManias, and try and figure out if that's accurate or not. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's a big thing. If it's true, it's true. If it's fake, whatever. But it's kind of a cool little piece of information if it is true. They definitely did well in this match for what they had to do. I thought it was nonstop. I liked when Orton, there was a couple times, at least once near the end, when the referee starts going like 1, 2, and I was like, no, I'll tell you when to count. I kind of like that because that's, like, they were showing, like, you know what, like, he really wanted to hurt Edge. He really wanted to retire him, like he retired Matt Hardy, if you would. They maybe could have taken a couple of the counts out of the match and taken 5 to 10 minutes off the match, and it would have been just as good, maybe a little bit better. But overall, I thought this was, like, for an empty arena, I thought that was a fantastic match for an empty arena.
What'd you think of the hanging?
I don't know how they got away with it. I don't know if Vince knew that they were going to go that route. I was talking, I think it was on the Full Heel page, actually, we were talking about, me and my buddy Ty were going back and forth on it. He thinks that, it's been 13 years, it's been a long time has passed since that, and that is fair. Eventually, you might want to do something in a match like this, where you do something like that. Vince has always shied away. Daniel Bryan was fired for strangling a guy with his tie when Nexus debuted back in 2010. Because Vince does not like that stuff. And this is straight up weight equipment. Like, this was how Benoit finished himself. Like, it's...
I just think the timing's a little weird, and I don't think, the timing is what it is. I think the Vice documentary and this happening at WrestleMania with Edge and Orton, the match lends to it, kind of. Who knows if, they did it for that. Look, it was just out there already because of the documentary.
If he uses it to maybe, like, tie Edge up and hit him in the head with something, that's one thing. But that's, like, straight up hanging, and it was, or at least if not hanging, choking. And it was, the match didn't benefit from it. If anything, there's a negative talking point that was taken out from it.
And here's my thoughts on that. AEW's coming with the heat, and I think in Love and War, I don't think Vince cares. I think the gloves are off in Love and War.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think he pulled back when Eddie and especially when Chris Benoit killed his family, and that shit happened, and the CTE thing came out. I think he really pulled back the reins on the vulgarity and the risqueness, and I think right now they know it's a war.
And also for Vince, like Vince showed up to Raw that Monday, and he did no Monday Night Raw. It was a tribute show to Chris Benoit. They showed the documentary they put together with the highlights of his matches and that kind of stuff. And I think Vince was actually like when SmackDown that week happened, he's like, in recent events and in light of what's happened, blah 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 blah. So I think he was almost like hurt the fact that he honored the guy, and then all the information came out, and then I think that also played a part in his decisions to never mention him again. And even though Jimmy Snuka murdered someone, and that he's in the Hall of Fame, they never took him out. They mention him, they honor him. Well, when you fight 9 police officers and 2 police dogs, and then a woman shows up dead, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's professional wrestling. Like, there's so many stories of guys that have been involved in a lot of shady things. To just take one person and throw him off to the side, I understand not wanting to put him in the Hall of Fame, but to never mention him and all that kind of stuff is a little too much to me. But like I said, this didn't have anything to benefit the match. The match didn't end this way. It was just a small little obstacle for Edge to overcome in this match. I think if you don't do it, the match is fine. So I don't know. Then, like you said, the Vice. I didn't even consider the Vice documentary just coming out. Mm-hmm. So things were fresh in people's mind.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm like, man, I don't think I would have thought that much. Well, I think it would have taken me a little bit longer to connect the two, but like, especially it was just out there. Like, it was on 2 weeks ago. The New Jack one came out last week, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
The New Jack one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to check. I want to check out the Fall Brawl one. Just came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll probably check that one out today.
Nice.
After AE dubs. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the match for what it was. The crowd aspect would have definitely helped.
Mm-hmm.
But
being in it, I wonder what they could have done if they were in Raymond James Stadium as opposed to the Performance Center. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like after that match was done, I messaged you right off the bat and I said, that's how you do an empty arena match. Like when your hands are tied and you have to figure something out, they figured something out. They put on a hell of a match. I mean, you could see when Orton was far away from Edge and he was going to go for the punt. You could see the spear coming from a mile away. You knew that they weren't going to give this one to Orton, being that it's Edge's big comeback. I mean, WWE has done shitty things in the past, like Kurt Angle losing to Corbin to finish off his career. Mm-hmm. People weren't happy with that. I think that they wanted to try and keep as little backlash from this event as they could. So I feel like you knew Edge was going to win. So I felt like that spear was coming, and yeah, I thought it was a great match. I'll go back and probably watch it over the years. I can see myself doing it just because. Aside from that hanging part, I don't really think I have too many negative things. Like I said, maybe the time, maybe take a few minutes off and like take a couple of the counts away. But that's whatever.
Yeah. What'd you think of the ending? He ended it with the concerto.
The concerto, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I gotta take a piss real quick. Be right back.
Yeah.
You got it?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought you. Yeah. No. Yeah, I love the concerto ending. When Edge and Christian were using that as a tag team move, I thought it was a lot of fun. When one person does it, I still get a kick out of it. For for Edge just to have to go as ruthless as he could. Concerto on the top of the truck was the only way to end it. That's awesome. The emotions with Edge where he was crying, you could really tell. Like some of it was probably for the fans, but also to know what he's come back from. And like he always was saying going into this match, he wanted to end his career on his note. We're probably only going to get this 3-year run with Edge is probably going to be the most we're going to see him in the ring. After that, I don't think he's going to be. I mean, he's not going to be a full-time competitor now. I think that started off maybe for the fans, but then did become the realization of like, I am doing this. I am back. Just put on a hell of a match, working so hard to get to that point. And then, yeah, to hit the concerto and just to, like, you could see that it was going to end, like it was going to end that way. There was, by the time they were at 5 and Orton was not moving at all, you knew that that was going to be the end. But there's been a lot of shitty endings to Last Man Standing matches. Like I said, you could see the spear coming, and you knew once the concerto hit that was going to be it. But that's how those matches are supposed to end. It's supposed to end with you are beating someone to the point where they cannot move. Mm-hmm. So you can't really fault them for that. It probably was the best ending, even though you could like it was very predictable. It was fun. That's what wrestling. This is what this kind of match is supposed to be in wrestling. Fun.
And to quote what Conrad Thompson was saying about these kind of segments or matches that they were putting on, they reminded me a lot of the Lucha Underground shit. I watched 2 seasons of Lucha Underground.
Okay. Yeah, I still haven't checked that out. I need to get on that.
The Boneyard match, not when he mentioned it, I was like 100%. The Boneyard match reminded me of that.
Okay.
They did a lot of they did a lot of pre-tape stuff, so there was no crowd reactions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff like in the background, and they did some like where they were, dude. One time, a dude pulled out a fucking guy's heart and ate it. All right, go
That's
watch
awesome.
fucking Lucha Underground.
Okay, yeah, I got to see it just for that now.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. I messaged Jesus and I was like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This fucking guy just ate a heart in wrestling." And then I saw it was Lucha Underground, and
then it all came full circle. That all made sense.
So you know how they say that wrestling's like a soap opera for dudes?
Yep.
Lucha Underground is a telenovela because Mexican soap operas take it over the top. These guys take it over the top with like they had like rituals playing out all the time. I know WWE had it, but like these guys had it like on a weekly basis where like it was smoky all the time and shit like that, and it was like death was like a major part of it, and like the Aztec gods and like medallions were part. It was weird. It was weird.
Like sacrificing wrestlers to get to so there'd be another day of sun.
It seemed like they broke Pentagon Jr.'s back, like, and they had like a whole background segment of that, like where I forgot who the other wrestler was that did it, but a lot of these segments did remind me of that.
Okay.
Especially with the no crowd aspect. Because, like I said, these guys did a lot of pre-recorded stuff. I really enjoyed the selling by Orton. A lot more. Well, Orton's always been a great performer. I did see a lot of Edge. I like this Edge more than the one I remember, because I remember from Intercontinental Edge back. I wasn't there for his title run.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You were mentioned that you kind of gotten out, and he's been gone for 9 years. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, so he's been gone for a while since I started watching again, and I stopped watching pretty much at his run. So I like this Edge. I like the old look Edge, but I don't know how much longer we'll get of him. I think he wanted to come for like a swan song, and then take off. But who knows? Maybe they extend this shit to SummerSlam. You good over there?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Government gave me money today.
Nice.
Yeah, I just got no. Sorry, I just got a text asking if I got. No, sorry. Continue on.
The government came through.
Government came through. Thank you, Trudeau. You won't hear me say that a lot. No, yeah. You know what? I was afraid that they were going to bring Christian back, and I'm happy that they kept it as a one-on-one. Because this seemed like a kind of match where they could have done a little too much, and they didn't. And I'm happy with that. There was just the two guys battling it out, and that was it. So that was a very that was nice. I appreciated that aspect of the match too. Keeping it straightforward, one-on-one. It's a like they said, there was the Orton even started off by saying, like, I had substance issues and then you helped me out. And then we had this run and we've had this and that. And so they definitely utilized the history and the war between them.
Yeah.
I still just couldn't believe more the fact that that Edge was gone for 9 years. To me, when I still, even saying it seems like I saw Edge 2.5 years ago at WrestleMania. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago that he had retired.
Speaking segment, maybe?
No, I mean, like I feel like I feel like I saw him in an actual wrestling match. Like I feel like him and Del Rio was a lot more recent than 2010 or 2011 rather.
Damn,
Like,
I don't remember them being around at the same time.
Yeah, because I think it was Del Rio was his last WrestleMania match before he retired, and it just I don't know why it feels like it was a lot more recent than it really was. I mean, that's, I guess, not to sound old, but that's how time is.
No, you're old.
Well, I'm fucking ancient. My daughter told me today, Daddy, you're turning 52 this year.
Oh, fuck.
I said, what the, whoa.
Who told you?
I don't even get to have like a midlife crisis, and and you're putting me in a retirement home. Oh, man.
Old Ryan.
Old Ryan.
Next match after this was, Ryan, can you guess?
And Street Profits against, was it Angel Garza and, oh, fuck, what the hell's his name?
Wrong.
Oh!
It was
yes.
your boy, Rob Gronkowski, winning the 24/7 title.
I forgot with that segment. You know what? I don't think I forgot it. I think I blanked it out. It's like oh, no, never mind. That's a terrible analogy. It's like when something traumatizing happens when you're a child and you just block it out with alcohol and drugs. That's what that match was for me.
If they're going to use Gronk, I hope this is what's going to be of his career, a joke, the 24/7 title. I don't want to see him in any serious roles in the WWE.
Yeah.
And screw Mojo Rawley, too. I know they're buddies.
I liked Mojo Rawley with Zack Ryder. I thought that was a fun little tag team that they had. I think that Gronk and Rowley, if this does become a thing, it'll have its niche audience, but it's gonna be. I mean, who knows? Gronk's a beast of an athlete. If he takes it seriously and actually wants to do it, and he tones down the whole hype thing, if he can reel it in and take things a little seriously, props to him. Otherwise, I feel like he's just going to be like a Mongo McMichael that's just going to be like kind of like pop in, annoy you for a couple of years, and then pop out. And you're going to be like, hey, remember when Gronk was a wrestler?
Remember when Rodman was a wrestler? Remember David Arquette won the fuck?
Yeah. Well, was it when I messaged you after Gronk won the title? I said Gronk now has as many main roster title reigns as Sami Zayn. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
And you can say, people say the 24/7 title is a joke, and it is. But if they're going to count the hardcore title and give Raven like the second most title reigns in WWE history, then you got to count Gronk's title reign now.
I went back and I went and I listened to 83 Weeks where they broke down WrestleMania, this WrestleMania.
Right.
How did they like the Daniel Bryan
I don't get it. Like everything that we said hurt the match, Conrad Thompson was like, "Oh, this was great. This was that." I'm like, like,
look, I get ring psychology. I get all that. The old school heel.
That's the
These guys could have put on a better match, way better match. They could,
and basically that's exactly what we said the other day when we talked about it. That we enjoyed how Sami Zayn's character is. The match itself was just, I don't understand it. Like I've went back and I watched it a couple times and I still like, it's cringy. Like there's just too like, and for me, a lot of it had to do with Cesaro and Shinsuke. I don't think that they deserve to be put as secondary characters to Sami Zayn. I think that Shinsuke and Zayn should have a rivalry, if anything.
Yeah. Neither. Any of those three guys do not deserve to be a secondary to anybody.
Nope.
They're all top guys. They can all be top guys.
If you want to put them as a stable and have like a manager, like I talked about the other day, throw Paul Heyman with them. Fine, I'll buy into that. But like where they're all equal, that's awesome. Do it, but don't have them be bodyguards, man.
Yeah,
like
they can't be on the outside be bodyguards.
No, it's like when Seth Rollins was in the Authority and they had Noble and Mercury as the like those guys. I can believe them as security because they're not top level talent. They're second to third level talent. These guys, yeah, I don't. But yeah, listening to 83 Weeks
ago. Noble was cruiserweight champion, bro.
Well, yeah, but he's retired though. I mean, like he was not. That's what I mean. Like he could get away with having him as a security guard because he's not a competitor in the ring anymore. Yeah, like listening to 83 Weeks, there was like it was refreshing to hear Eric Bischoff actually like knock him down a couple pegs, and he was like, "I didn't like this match." And Connor was like, "What? I thought it was great." And I was like, "Connor, what were you watching?" Like some of those matches, and I get the empty arena definitely hurt a lot of these matches, but at the same time, you could have done a whole lot more with that match than what we got. Like just have Daniel Bryan like stomping on him and kicking, like Sami Zayn took an ass whooping, like a heel should, but to end the way that the match ended, it hurt. It hurt a lot.
Yeah. Kind of just like this one. Well, I'm liking. So back to the Street Profits versus fucking Garza and what's his first name? I don't know his first name.
See, because it was supposed to be what's his face? Angel
Garza and Austin Theory. So it's supposed to be.
It was supposed to be what's his face? The U.S. champion Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't get this tag team match. There's much better tag teams that you could have had in this match. Like this is okay. I'd step back. COVID. There's reasons why we have certain matches. This match though, like I messaged you right away. This was a Monday Night Raw match with a Monday Night Raw segment at the very end. This was not a pay-per-view. Forget WrestleMania. This wasn't even like a Money in the Bank. This wasn't Elimination Chamber. This was Monday Night Raw.
Dude, yeah, no, this is pretty bad. And I'm sorry to say, but like I don't care how over the Street Profits are with the crowd. They do not deserve to have the tag team championships at WrestleMania.
Not yet. No, I like the Street Profits. I think that when they were in NXT, I bought into them hook, line, sinker. I was all in. They went to main roster. I was stoked because now this is them. They're getting that opportunity to become the champions. But they put the titles on them too soon. They didn't have enough time to build a rivalry with a team.
It's because they're over with the crowd.
Yeah, and it sucks because
that hurts them.
I don't want to. I don't. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. I don't want to say like these guys' career should be affected because of me. Like, who am I? The fans are over. You put the title on them. That's how this business works. Unless you're Roman Reigns. So you know what? The fans love them. They're doing something good with their gimmick. Awesome, but don't just strap the titles on them and then not have a big plan for them going forward. And again, like there is things that they can't help. Like maybe, you know what? You got these guys fighting Theory and Garza, which is a made up tag team. When you had the OC on Saturday night get beat up by the Undertaker for 45 seconds, why not throw Gallows and Anderson in that match or something like, and give something to that match. Like if you don't have a story to behind it, it's okay if you have the talent that can carry the match and can put on something.
And the more talented tag team, in my opinion, didn't win. I think
I don't know. See,
I think
I
Angel
haven't
Garza and
seen.
Austin Theory, I think they're more talented.
I haven't
I
seen
don't think we
enough
saw
of
it in this
them.
match.
I haven't seen enough of them. This was probably the most I've seen of those two. Um, and I'm like they're not a tag team, right? So it's hard to really like mesh when you're just kind of thrown together last second, because it was supposed to be Andrade and Garza, and then Andrade comes out, or
Well,
Andrade comes.
to be
So
fair, that kind of was just a thrown together tag team recently as well because they're Mexican. So it's like, let's put
yeah,
them together. They speak Spanish. They're good.
just be happy they're not riding lawnmowers, okay?
And well, I get it. They're like all fighting. They're all fighting the Mexicans. Like, let's all put the Mexicans together. And they're not making fun of them or anything. But it's like
make
they could do a
make
better.
something of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't have a problem with them tagging only Mexicans together. But these are so recent. They do not belong. Again, they do not belong at fighting for the tag team championships at WrestleMania. I'm sorry,
You
they
know,
don't.
and you know what pisses me off is that you got a tag team like the Revival, and all that they're saying is that we just want more creative control of our characters. And Vince McMahon says, no. And in fact, we're going to do this instead. It's like, you got the Revival, you have the OC, you have these amazing tag teams, and you're just shitting on them, and you're just giving us this.
The story writes itself with the Revival and these two guys.
Oh, 100%.
With Montez Ford and
Dawkins.
Dawkins. The story's written. It's so contrasting the styles, but you could be like the Revival's pissed off because these guys are champions and they've been given all the opportunities because they're over with the crowd, and the Revival hasn't. I don't know, something like that, and like just how different they are. Even their styles in the ring, their styles outside of the ring. It's so different.
Yeah.
This
And
one,
you can definitely see it. Yeah, you could build a nice little angle out of those teams. Also, it wouldn't just be a one-off. Like, you're probably not going to see Theory and Garza versus the Street Profits every single week or at another pay-per-view. You might. I doubt it. I think there's better things out there. Like we said, this was a quickly thrown together match and team, just because of circumstances.
yeah. Well, you know how we mentioned earlier that Rhea Ripley winning the title at WrestleMania would have hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately this hurts the Street Profits because now they're so over with the crowd and they put the title on them so early on. They can only go down from here.
Yeah. That, you know what, that's a very fair point. Yeah, unless they will have to lose these titles in a 3.5 to 4 star match in order to keep momentum with them and keep people wanting to see them again.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna keep interest with them.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when they won them. Or
Who did
against
they beat?
who?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who did they beat for those titles now? I'm trying to think of who the Raw champions were before them now. Drawing a complete blank on that.
Did they win them at Rumble?
I think they won them on Raw.
Fuck, I don't remember.
I thought it was a Raw. Because they didn't win on Elimination Chamber, did they?
They might have won them at Elimination Chamber.
What is that? That's. Oh, they beat. That's right. They beat Rollins and Murphy. It was on Raw. It was a now or never match. It was they had lost to them a couple of times, and it was on Raw. And
see, it's so weird because they were pushing that tag team too instead
Kevin
of pushing
Owens helped them,
AOP,
yeah.
and AOP's kind of not in the
That
picture.
was like you could have Evolution style where you have the main guy, you have the secondary guy, and you got the tag team.
Mm-hmm.
You have a champion, an Intercontinental champion, and the tag team. Instead, and Murphy's gonna benefit from carrying the tag team title, sure. Now nothing, and not even like a mention of him. Or they mentioned AOP during the Rollins match, but they didn't mention Murphy at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Let's see. What was the next match after this?
This is the 5-way, right? After this,
Yeah, we had the fatal 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I want to give credit to Bayley, and I'm gonna give credit to Bayley. She's doing the most with horrible storylines because there pretty much isn't any.
The worst thing is that Bayley's best opponent, and I think they're building up to it. Bayley's best opponent is her best friend right now.
Yeah,
in
that's
story.
Building up to.
Like Banks and Bayley should have been the final two, and they should have had the friendship breakup at WrestleMania. It's the perfect time to do it, and then you can roll into the summer with those two going back and forth for the title. Whoever you want to put the title on at any given time. But it's also me. I'm not fully behind Lacey Evans. Her character needs something. Like when I picture like the Southern Belle, I don't picture just by herself. I picture a lot of money with some kind of a business in a weird way. You know, like there's always something behind it. She just comes out as the Southern Belle, and that's it. It's very mid '90s gimmicky, like when they had the Goon and Duke the Dumpster and that kind of stuff. It reminds me of that. It's something that they put together, and she's making it work, but I can't get behind it.
It was a Marine before that, right?
Yeah. What? Jeez. That wouldn't work. Like, I mean, you have Ronda Rousey, and you're using her as an MMA fighter, and people got over. You have a fucking badass Marine. We're gonna make it like the exact opposite of what you could be. Like, if she came out like Sergeant Slaughter style, oh fuck, man, she could. Like, I don't know. That's me. I don't like the Southern Belle. I like her. It's the character I can't get behind, and that I can't get behind her because of that, and it's weird.
Well, I think you're a fucking jerk. I think she's the best. She's super hot. She's got nice tits and a fat ass. So I'm a fan. So I think you're wrong in everything you just said.
Were you talking about Tamina?
Oh my god, dude! Hot garbage.
Oh man,
she stinks.
She's one of the superstars that's getting by from namesake. It's happened before. There's always someone that had a famous parent or uncle or aunt in the business.
Name 5.
And they, pardon?
Name 5.
Name Davey Boy Smith's kid.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Can you?
Tiger Ali Singh. No, there's you always get, so everyone wants to be like The Rock or Mr. Perfect, right? Everyone wants to be like that kind of guy, and it doesn't always work. Pardon?
Curtis Axel.
I don't mind Curtis Axel. I feel like they should have done more to take him not to be like his father. Mm-hmm. When they started making him be more like Mr. Perfect in a weird way, it kind of hurt him. But
you liked him as a Heyman guy?
I did. I loved him. I didn't even mind him as Ryback Axel. I thought that was an all right little thing that they had.
Mm-hmm.
before Ryback left. But yeah, like Tamina's, she was a flash in the pan, and then I don't know if she had a kid or something, or she was hurt, but she was off TV for like a solid felt like a solid year and a half that she was gone, and she came back, and it was just I see her more like almost like China, like a bodyguard kind of character. Like if they were to put her with the Usos and she was just like a bodyguard protecting the Usos from people, I could get behind that. I feel it's weird. Like she could probably be better in the ring with men because of her intensity.
I think she's stiff and she hurts people.
She definitely hurts people. Every time she does that super kick, I'm waiting for someone to not sit up afterwards.
Her Samoan slam, she falls on people very awkwardly. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't fall on their back how they're supposed to. She's like falls on their when she drops them, they fall on their side and like almost on the shoulder, which you're not supposed to
And
do.
when you see someone like when you see say like Rikishi, right? Because Rikishi could have easily hurt someone with his Samoan drops, and he never hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And she I don't know. There's some she's I don't
Garbage.
know. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if she doesn't care or what. Like she got the contract and she's like, I'm getting paid one way or another. I
Oh,
don't know
she's
what it.
old too, dude. She's not young.
No, she's not. And that's the thing. Like that's what I mean. Like when she disappeared for a little bit off TV, I thought it was bizarre that she was gone. I don't know, but especially the other. Like you could have taken her to this match and had Evans, Bailey, Banks, and um, Naomi. That would have been 100 times better.
Mm-hmm.
What was Tamina's big moment in this match? Having 4 girls lay on her to eliminate her. That was it. They're treating her like she's the Big Show.
And her wrestling skills are nowhere near what the Big Show can do.
No, yeah,
Nia Jax is a way better version of Tamina.
yeah. You know what? That's perfect. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she can be stiff, and she can like she had a lot of heat and backlash, but she can perform better, and you can get behind her better than you can Tamina.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't get it.
So they all eliminate Tamina by laying on her. Then second one to get eliminated is Naomi.
Which I was kind of surprised about. I thought that they might, because knowing that they had Bailey and Evans has already been done.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they may have gotten rid of Lacey Evans earlier and maybe had Naomi be one of the last 2 or maybe the last 3, but nope.
And then you mentioned how they planted the seeds. Since there's 3 left, I think Bailey hit Sasha, right?
Yeah.
And then Sasha's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "Ah, it was an accident. It was an accident." And then Bailey's like, "We can talk about this later. Let's just focus on this."
Yeah.
And then Lacey Evans gives Sasha the woman's right, her finisher, the punch to the face, and
Yeah.
then
And it's
Sasha's out of there. And Bailey does nothing.
no.
She's just there, and she just reacts like, "Oh fuck."
And
And
then and I like to like Banks coming in to save the day, because it looked like maybe they're gonna put the belt on Evans at this point in time,
mm-hmm.
and then Sasha Banks comes back in and saves the title for Karen. She's gotta get that haircut, man. That hair does not work well for her. I'm sorry.
For Bailey,
For Bailey, for Karen.
I'm a Bailey fan.
I love Bailey. I wish that I don't see why they had to cut her hair short for this new character.
Yeah,
But
I wish they put her in wrestling trunks instead of pants.
I don't mind the outfit as long as
I want to see that booty,
yeah.
but that's why she's the biggest heel
Yeah.
for wearing them pants. Let's see. Yeah, Sasha Banks coming back and helping Bailey. We're gonna see Bailey betray Sasha. Sasha's gonna go face and challenge Bailey.
Because what did they say? Like Bailey's the only one to have NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and tag team, and Banks has everything but SmackDown, something like that.
Is that why Charlotte just went down and won NXT? No, she was NXT already.
She was NXT.
She's
Yeah,
not tag, yeah.
she's not tagged. No, that's the other thing. I messaged this to you when Michael Cole. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Bailey comes down to the ring and he goes, "She's been champion for 175 days. She won the title last year in May at Money in the Bank. May is not 100. May is not like 200 days away.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cole's like I don't know that this is just me being a stickler on something stupid that means nothing, but yeah, I don't know what the hell he like. It takes away from her title reign because her title reign's like over 200 days, I think, unless she lost it and won it back that I don't remember. I don't get it. I don't know. It's a stupid little side note, but yeah, like because Becky Lynch is a year as of yesterday. I think it was yesterday or today. Becky's a year, and now Bailey's closing in on a year. That kind of goes to show you the state of women's wrestling at the highest level. Because in NXT, that title has enough competition where it can get passed around and people don't mind. Mm-hmm. But I think that they should have dropped it here to anyone. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like anyone besides Sasha, and I think that's what they're building to.
I don't mind Naomi. I think Naomi, if they put the title on Naomi, I wouldn't be mad at that. Mm-hmm. She just came back. She's hot right now. The fans are really behind her. Strike while the iron's hot, right? Like if you don't have people in the audience, you want people to watch your product, put the belt on someone that they can get behind. And you have Naomi, who when she came back, everyone was so over the top for her. Mm-hmm. And then you don't put the title on her and you have her, like we said, the second one eliminated. Very forgettable WrestleMania for her, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I know where they're going to go with Bailey and Banks at some point in time. I don't get it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Something's got to happen.
Yeah, so Bailey defends her title with the help of Sasha Banks. She comes in and hits Lacey Evans. Bailey retains.
Oh, here's some breaking news for you quickly. Yeah. Speaking of women, Rose Namajunas is out of 249.
What? You got corona?
I don't know. They said no reason given yet. So the co-main event is now. So now the main event and the co-main event have both been screwed. For MMA fans out there.
Mm-hmm. After this, we had The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, taking on
I love this match
John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match.
Was it even a match? Was it like it? It didn't even see like. I know Cena technically lost, but it wasn't really even a match. It was more just like 10 minutes of just amazingness. Mm-hmm. I could get like if this is like a one-time thing, I'm fine with it. I don't want them to. Everyone just heard my rant about The Fiend. Mm-hmm. Don't destroy it more by having the Firefly Funhouse every pay-per-view. Do it once every 6 months, 8 months, once a year, whatever. But this was wild.
I really enjoyed it too. The first time I watched it, I really didn't know what to think about it. And you're right, it's not really a match at all. John Cena gets beat by Bray Wyatt at the end after Mandible Claw. But the whole thing is, let's see, where do we start? So
I should have written down the step by step. I didn't think of that.
It starts off with Bray kind of talking, and then it starts off with Cena.
He walks in. He leaves the ring, or he somehow goes from being in the ring to being in the Firefly Funhouse, mm-hmm. and he opens up a door, and he's like, it's like, yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? He says, "Welcome to Wrestlemania," and then it cuts to it, doesn't it? And it starts doing the Wrestlemania things, and it starts cutting to it.
And then it just starts off with going, then it goes like chop segment after that. Mm-hmm. But he ends up in the Firefly, and that's where I thought the match was about to happen, right? Like I think, everyone did, right? You're in the house now. The match is going to start, and instead you get what'd you get? You got Saturday Night's Main Event. You got
Yeah, you get a pretty badass video or a revisit of video packages of the old school WWE or WWF stuff, but reenactments with John Cena in it now.
when Cena comes out and he's behind he's in the cage.
Yeah.
With Bray Wyatt's playing the role of Hogan,
Mm-hmm.
and then but they went all over because they included John Cena
John Cena's beginning
as the prototype in FCW. They brought him as Thugonomics from WrestleMania last year when he was when he interrupted Elias. They did his WrestleMania 20. They touched on Cena's career, but then they also gave you a weird. If John Cena was in this point of wrestling history, like if Cena was in the NWO, if Cena was, it was choppy, it was all over the place, and it worked perfectly.
Well, it made sense for Bray's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of like if you were, kind of like Pennywise, where he's in every one of your fucking.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? That's almost like the perfect analogy. Like how he instead of knowing your fears, he even it's Bray mentally breaking down John Cena. Like, how come you got this and I didn't?
Mm-hmm.
And every time they were in the ring again, and Cena would go to punch Bray, or he was actually, he'd be there. Cena would swing, and he's gone, and then he turns around and he's in a different getup, and then he finally tackles Bray, and as he's hitting him, it's a dummy, and then he turns around and it's a different getup.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like how it turns into the puppets too.
Like the Vince McMahon puppet.
Well, yeah, the Vince McMahon puppet's awesome. But like when he's beating up Bray, and it turns into the fat horse, the pig, or what was the pig's name? The fat puppet or the pig puppet.
Yeah. The one. Yeah, I forget what the puppet's name is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the segment. It's not a match. You can't if you guys haven't seen it and you're gonna go watch it, don't go in thinking it's a match or expecting a match. Expect
This is what we needed based on what happened to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Because with no fans in there, it was going to be very lackluster throughout. Like we saw so many matches just not live up to what we wanted them to be. We've said this 1,000 times already. This was something that I feel like they knew they couldn't deliver, but they found a way to make it work because filming it ahead of time and doing it right.
I'm going to put it this way. I can see this if coronavirus didn't hit, I can see this at WrestleMania 36.
Do you think so? Do you think they would have done the same segment?
I could have seen the same segment and I would have been fine with this. I would have been like, oh, damn, this is pretty cool.
I guess being like how it was titled, the Firefight Funhouse, that makes sense because otherwise it would have been much more just like a regular match. They would have said, I guess they would have called it Firefight Funhouse like they've done in the past, where it's like Barnyard match, but just buried alive kind of thing. Where they've done a match where it's like, oh, what the fuck is this match? And then it just ends up being like a no holds barred match. And you're like, oh, that's it. So I could see this segment, if this was what they had planned the whole time, awesome. Mm-hmm. But certain parts obviously did have to be taped ahead of time because of how Cena would turn around and he's in a different getup, like I mentioned, and stuff like that. Like they would have had to have done. They would have had to change some things.
Yeah. Maybe start it off in the back, and then have them roll out to the front.
Or if they're in the front, or if they're in the ring, and as they go backstage, then on the Titantron or whatever they want to have, they can just show you what's happening backstage live, but it would be all pre-taped segments. Yeah. I could see that working like that. Yeah, that would make sense too. Yeah,
definitely awesome.
So much fun. So Cena, when Bray Wyatt comes out just as Eric Bischoff, and then Cena comes out as Hogan, that was awesome. I didn't see that coming. There's so many things. There's too much. There's just too many good things to say about this, because this did really bring everything kind of back up. Although, same as the no holds or the last man standing match, You have this amazing little segment followed up by, ugh. So it's kind of like you watch this match and you get your, oh, yes, that was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes the title match next.
Oh, you tell me you didn't like the exact same duplicate copy match of this day before what we just saw for the same equivalent of a title?
Literally, well, 7 moves.
Well,
It was you hit your move 3 times, and then I'll hit my move 4 times, and that's it.
and it's like they're like,
I
oh, Conrad and I don't know who it was. I think it was Bischoff. They're like, well, it's a heavyweight fight. We're gonna hit each other with our finishers and see who outlasts each other. I'm like, bullshit. These guys, being a heavyweight means you could do a lot. You do a lot more power set moves. You do a lot more slams. You do a power fucking
exactly.
power bombs. You do a lot more gut wrench shit. A lot more physical stuff.
Yes. And see, the problem is that like when you see Goldberg and Lesnar have a 5-minute match at WrestleMania 2 or 3 years ago, where it was basically like this, but it was 1,000 times better because they brawled outside, inside, and then finished it. It was just boom, boom, boom. I thought Claymore 1, 2 kick out. Okay, now Lesnar's gonna be like, okay, whoa, step back and figure this out. Nope. F5, 1 kick out. Not even selling the 2. What? Like, he had a 500-odd day title run before he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets another title reign where he's just unstoppable. And then a 1 count on the F5. Come on, like, at least do a 2 count. That I didn't like Drew McIntyre his first run. 3-man band really killed him. I'm behind him a lot now. I like this new Drew McIntyre that they're giving us. And I'm happy that he has the title. I just wish we had like a 10-minute match, even a match, anything. I can easily see Vince McMahon, or not Vince, sorry, I could easily see Brock Lesnar just going up to Vince and saying, listen, there's no one in the crowd. I'm not doing it. I could see Brock doing that. He does have that history behind him of being kind of difficult to work with and deal with in some ways. But man, oh man. I wish that they did more for, like, it sucks for Drew too, because I mean, he just went after that Royal Rumble, right? Like, he had that. This was his big moment, like we talked about with Otis.
Yeah.
This was his WrestleMania moment. He was going to hold that title, and then everything collapses around the world, and then he gets his moment. He's still going to get the title shot, and then they give us that. It hurts. It sucks. I wish they didn't. They could have made it something, and they didn't.
Man, I wonder if the initial idea, well, like when they were in the writing room, they're like, let's just copy the night before, and they're like, all right, cool. Or like, did they come up with? Did someone pitch this? Like, all right, we have Brock hit the F5 3 times, and then we have McIntyre hit the Claymore 4 times, and when they're like, wait, that just happened last night? Did no one like speak up?
Yeah. Well, I almost feel like they're all sitting around and they're planning all these matches and they're trying to figure all this stuff out. And someone goes, I'm hungry, guys. I'm gonna order some Chinese. Anyone want in? Yeah, sure. We made the phone call. No, we're closed because of the coronavirus. Oh shit, guys, we can't get dinner tonight. All right, let's do what we did last night. Then let's go home.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what, like, it feels like.
Wait, how does Brock win? I don't know. Or how does McIntyre win? I don't know. I had Brock hit 3 F5s. He kicks out, and then he hits 4 Claymore kicks.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. It's like, at least, at least the night before, Goldberg and Strowman was followed up by the Boneyard match. If this WrestleMania ended, Drew McIntyre is the champion in a shitty match, cool. And then match finishes with Bray finishing off Cena and really establishing dominance again. Hey, that's all right.
To be honest, it was a pretty horrible build to WrestleMania, if you ask me. The Royal Rumble winner build to
Hmm.
WrestleMania wasn't that great of a build, and I
Even
love McIntyre.
even when they had fans, they didn't do a whole lot. Like it was run-ins. It wasn't a lot of, and that has a lot to do with Brock Lesnar only shows up on certain events. He will only give you a certain amount of time. Um, I don't know. I don't want the title on Brock anymore. Make him just a attraction like Andre the Giant. Have him go out there and beat and fight someone. He can lose, he can win, he can whatever. Make him the gatekeeper if you want. Have people have to get through him to really show that they are worthy of the next level of the ladder. It's I don't know. I don't. At least we have champions now that will be at every event, not every other event or once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. It just sucks that Eric Bischoff put out a video after McIntyre won, and he's like, "Do you guys remember what happened 20 years ago when Hogan fought Nash, and everyone called us whatever?" He's like, and now he was like, "After last night, they give us this," and he's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
People crapped on Eric Bischoff because of the finger poke of doom, and now you essentially gave us 2 nights of the finger poke of doom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been
And you
pretty bad.
want us to be behind it?
No. It's lazy writing, horrible writing.
It is. Yeah, it is.
They wanted an easy way out of a bad situation, in my opinion.
And that's it. And I'm surprised. And I think Conrad Thompson mentioned it, that they didn't even mention coronavirus or COVID-19 at any point during it. And I'm surprised that they didn't say, it's a unique WrestleMania because of what we're dealing with. Thank you, fans, for sticking with it. Nothing. Like not acknowledging or pointing out anything. Just getting frustrated over here, Raph. Getting angry. I'm gonna go rage eat now.
Well, dude, you should be angry. This was the heavyweight championship match, and they had already given us one shit finish or one shit match between Strowman and Goldberg, and they're like, let's just do it again.
And it's and like we mentioned early on, AEW is coming on strong. AEW is beating NXT. AEW is getting a second show. AEW is expanding. The title name sucks, but AEW is expanding their titles now. Eventually, they might say, "Hey, let's go take on Raw. Let's go take on SmackDown," and they might be in for a rude awakening with what could happen if they keep on giving you a champion that's only there on occasion, or if they give you lazy writing. They fired Bischoff because of lazy writing.
No, I thought it's because he was in catering.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that would count as lazy writing, right? You're not writing if you're in catering.
Yeah. But yeah, like like you have all this amazing talent, and you're giving us okay. There are certain things that you can't that are going to be affected with empty arenas, but then there's also things that are affected by the writing. Look what Orton and Edge did. They had a fun match.
Yeah, the in-ring writing for this sucked as well. Not only was there no ambiance because of the COVID-19 stopping the crowd from being there, but the in-ring story wasn't there.
Like I said, like for as not I don't want to say poor because it's not the right word, but for as lackluster as say the women's tag team match was, for as lackluster as the men's tag team matches were, for as bizarre as 3 guys fighting in a ladder match for the tag team titles, as bizarre as all that really was, it was still, all of that was better than the 2 main titles combined. Like, the Street Profits was a better match than the 2 heavyweight title matches combined. Like, that's, and we just said how Raw segmenty that match was.
Yeah.
And now we're saying that it was better than both the SmackDown and the Raw heavyweight title matches combined. That's how bad this rating was.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad because You see aspects of it where it's not bad. You have the boneyard match,
Yeah.
and that was very short build up, but they told a good story even with what they
Mhm.
had. This one's been since Royal Rumble and they didn't do that. Then you had John
Mhm.
Cena and Bray Wyatt with the Firefly Funhouse. Good story, or
Mhm.
good. It was an entertaining segment, and you also had Rollins and
Yeah, Rollins and Owens. Yeah.
fantastic match, and then they turned it into a hardcore match too. So they gave you both aspects, not just a regular match, but a hardcore match. They gave you a WrestleMania moment where he dives off the sign. It's just
There was like you could tell the talent, and I feel bad for McIntyre because I bet if say Rollins was the champion and he was going to drop it to Drew McIntyre, Rollins I think would have stepped up and said, "We're going to have a match. It's not going to be finisher, 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 finisher. That's it." I like it. If you want to say Braun Strowman, and Goldberg is a 7 move match, I won't be happy, but I'll understand why. Lesnar and Drew McIntyre, there's no reason for it to be a 7 move match because McIntyre is a better performer than Goldberg, than Strowman, than Lesnar right now.
dude.
Right now,
Both of
he
these guys can go. Both of these guys in this match can go. But
yeah,
Strowman and Brock can go, and then no, sorry, McIntyre and
McIntyre. Sorry, yeah.
McIntyre and Brock can go, and they didn't
Because
let them. And
you
Strowman
can
and
you can say Strowman
Goldberg,
and
they're
Lesnar.
limited. They're
You
limited.
can say Strowman and Lesnar, or you can say like you to your what you were saying with the heavyweights, and they're just gonna be like two rams butting heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's Goldberg Strowman. I can get behind a 7 move match as long as it's not the same move and that's it. But yeah, this one here, McIntyre, I don't want to say carry Lesnar because it's not the right word, but he could have carried this match if Lesnar didn't really want to go. He could have taken a beating and then kind of fought back, like WrestleMania last year with Seth Rollins. Lesnar whipped Seth Rollins to shit, and then Rollins came back and won.
Mm-hmm.
You could have done the same similar thing. Unfortunately, this is the Lesnar that we're getting. This isn't Lesnar from 2002. This is a Lesnar that's left wrestling for a number of years, got into MMA, taken some damage, body's aging, body's affected from combat sports. This is not the same Brock Lesnar. He's not as athletic as he once was. But he could still, like, we've seen him in matches like with Dean Ambrose, with
Mm-hmm.
with Seth Rollins, like I mentioned. We've seen him give you some pretty decent matches. McIntyre, he's still got it. Like, we could have got a whole lot more than what we did.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's just lazy, 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 lazy writing.
Yeah. As much, well, I'm speaking for myself here, I guess. As much as I criticize, I still enjoy the distraction from all this craziness. I still
Oh,
love
100%.
wrestling. I'm still
Yes.
gonna watch wrestling, and as much as I critique it, I'm still gonna do it. That's what it's there for me to watch it and pick out the good part. Like I said, I'll pick out the good parts, but I'll also tell you what I didn't like about it.
Right.
And I'll
And
be
that's
I'll be fair about it. I'm not here to just talk shit. I'll tell you what I like because I like wrestling.
and that's the thing with being a fan is that you're not going to like everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some things that there are. I'm sure, like how I was saying, I'm not the biggest fan of the Lacey Evans
How
character.
dare you?
I-
She's the
I'm
best.
sh-
She's the greatest ever. She's
I,
probably pound for pound. She's probably the greatest women's wrestler they've
all time
ever born ever.
ever born.
Yep.
See, like that's the thing. Like I can't get behind her character the
She's fine.
just the exact same way that I'm sure that there's like I like John Morrison's character. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there's people that don't get behind that. That's the whole point of being a fan. You're not going to like everything.
Yeah, the doors are all right.
And
The doors are all right.
yeah, yeah. Everyone has their own taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best part of that. It gives you the chance to have a debate about it. But when everyone agrees, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like I'm gonna go watch NXT tonight. I'll enjoy NXT because I know NXT is going to put on a bad. I'm more pissed off, like I told you, that we didn't get to see Takeover Tampa.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more hurt about from this whole thing.
Saka souffle. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're. Yeah.
Um, at least the best part with the network is that we can at least go back and check some other stuff out. So WrestleMania 36 maybe left a bad taste in our mouths. We can go back and watch WrestleMania, say 15. You can go back and watch Survivor Series from 94. You can go back and watch WCW, EC. You know what I mean? At least there's that aspect where we can distract ourselves with something.
Yeah.
Like that Taker series that they're going to be putting out soon looks really fucking badass.
That Michael Jordan series they're putting out.
That's that's when is that one? That's
they're releasing it, I think, towards the end of April. So towards the
end
end
of
of this
April?
month.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to. It's like a what 10 part or 10
part? Yeah, 10-part.
That's gonna be fun.
Series. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
And instead of doing it like over like a 10-day period, they're just like, Corona, everyone's at home. 3 days.
Yeah, boom.
24 hours of Jordan.
Well, they fast tracked it too. It was supposed to come out later, but they're like, fuck it.
Yeah. I'll get behind it. I'll check it out. Give me something to watch.
Well, that was the end of WrestleMania, Ryan. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep. They said they might take a hiatus from shows, so I don't know what that means.
If they're gonna stop doing live shows, I hope that they do they put out like best ofs. Maybe put out like a best of the Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever. Just put something on in its place. That's cool. I'll be fine with that. Give you something to watch.
Who knows? Maybe Vince is gonna buy his own island as well. Dana White it.
Yeah, yeah. Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Shao Kahn. Mortal Kombat.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ryan, for joining me again, helping me break down.
Definitely
another episode or another WrestleMania.
If I may, really quickly, if you aren't enjoying the product right now and you have 2 hours that you want to waste, but Crime and Sports is a podcast that I listen to. It is fantastic. They touch on all different athletes, from anything from tennis to hockey to everything. They just dropped an episode yesterday on Marty Jannetty, and you get some fun little stories about his career and outside the ring activities. So if you're looking for something wrestling based, I recommend going back and listening to Crime and Sports, Marty Jannetty. They've done Snuka, they've done Jake the Snake, Jim the Anvil Neidhart also. They're just fun little things to distract you if you're not enjoying the product that's out there right now.
Cool.
But do listen to Full Heel first.
Yeah. Subscribe to Full Heel. Rate and review on iTunes really helps out the show. Leave us an awesome description. Really helps out the show. Check us out on Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube. All those awesome platforms. I should start uploading me playing video games more on here. Maybe even matches from old school wrestling games I have. Like a match and then just cut it off for like 10-minute clips.
You know what you should do? You put in like WWE like 18 or 19. You can have Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. You can show WWE how they should have scripted the match.
Yeah. I think the last one I have is 18.
18?
Or do I have 19? No, I don't. I skipped it for 2 years. I heard this past one sucks. 2K20, there's a lot of shit wrong with it. Yeah,
well, I mean, their downloadable content was zombies because of the Fiend character they put out. Like, they just took like 5 or 6 current superstars that are already in the game and just made them be zombies.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There was at least one year when they gave you like the NWO at one point. Like, at least do something like that. Don't do freaking zombies. But whatever. I digress. It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fantasy.
Subscribe to Football on Full Heel, which is on the same network, so same channel. That's all I got, Ryan. You got anything else besides your true crime thing?
No, just everyone, keep staying safe, keep doing it, keep enjoying keep enjoying whatever it is that you're enjoying, doing what you're doing. What the hell is this? What did I click? Uh-oh. Raph, what did I do here? Oh, there we go. Sorry.
You're all good.
Yeah, somebody popped on the screen to like add someone to the call. I'm like, nope. No. Just have fun. Follow the page. There's constantly fun topics that people are posting, giving like conversation. We're not all of us are quarantined in that, but if you're stuck at home and you have nothing to do, the page is awesome because things are always being popped up there to give people things to talk about and have fun little debates and things like that. So have at it.
Check us out on Facebook, like Ryan said. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time on the Full Heel Podcast. Peace out, cocksuckers.
You already fucked up.